great rivalries in international rugby is between England and Wales. Today, the best under-20 players from either side of the Severn Bridge will do battle for the right to be called world champions. Welcome to the final of the IRB Junior World Championship.
He must hold it, he did, and it is a try. Jack Clifford breaks downfield and one more pass. Try, kick over the top. Could this be it? The try is there for Ashley Evans. Watson is going to extend England's lead. We will have a new name on the Junior World Rugby Championship trophy.
Yes, for the first time, two Northern Hemisphere teams will fight it out in the tournament showpiece. Wales arrive at the final, the only team still unbeaten in France. They topped their pool with wins over Argentina, Scotland and Samoa, then knocked out the defending champion South Africa in a thrilling semi-final. England suffered defeat to the Baby Box in pool play and only just sneaked through to the last four on points difference, but then produced a performance of the highest quality to see off the Junior All Blacks. We're at the Stade Bellarabine in Vannes, northwestern France for the IRB Junior World Championship final. It's Wales against England. A very good afternoon to you. Just when you thought this remarkable weekend of international rugby couldn't get any better, we arrive at the final of the Junior World Championship. And one thing is for certain, there will be a new name on the trophy in 2013. Alongside in studio to follow the fortunes of England and Wales are the new Gwent Dragons Director of Rugby Lynn Jones and former under-20, but of course now senior England fullback Alex Good. We'll talk 20 shortly, but first let's get up to date with all the Lions news that's broken today. And Wallaby captain James Horwell has been cleared of stamping and is free to play in the second test after being cited for this incident early in Saturday's first test involving Alan Wynne-Jones. You can make your own mind up about whether you think the judiciary got this one right. But of course, there are serious injury concerns to the Wallabies. Christian Lealiifano has concussion. He's a doubt. Pat McCabe with what looked like a serious neck injury. Digby Ioane with a shoulder. Adam Ashley Cooper with a shoulder. And Berrick Barnes also with a head injury. So Robbie Deans has brought in former Wallaby George Smith. That would be some story. The uncapped Brumbies fullback Jesse Mogg and Red centre Ben Tapuai. The Lions have injury concerns to Paul O'Connell and Alex Corbisiero with that calf, so they've called up Irish international Tom Court. The good news for Warren Gatland is that both Manu Tuolangi and Tommy Bowe are fit to play, and Jamie Roberts is back in contention as his hamstring injury seems to be progressing faster than expected. Tom Court goes straight onto the bench against the Rebels on Tuesday morning. Manu Tuolangi will line up at centre outside Brad Barrett. All three back rowers, Toby Faletau, Dan Lydiot, Sean O'Brien, will be putting their hands up for a second test spot. And Jeff Parling will captain the midweek side from the second row. But of course, it's the Junior World Championship final, which concerns us this afternoon. And Alex, great to have you with us. You played in the final in 2008. What is going through the minds of these young men today?
Well, it's the biggest game of their lives. You know, they've been waiting for this for the last few days. But I'm sure right now they'll be just looking forward to it. They'll be really excited in that change room, and you want to test yourself against the best players in the world. And at this age, you know, these two teams have been the best in the competition. And as I said, they'll be very excited going into it. You know, looking into the competition, England unfortunately lost early on, but they've come through really well, and Wales have won the whole way through. So it's a great occasion, packed stadium, and you know, everyone's looking forward to it. Yeah,
it should be fantastic, Lynn. You saw both semi-finals. Be impartial here. Who do you think's the favourite coming into this one?
Look, it's a game that's really too tight to call in lots of respects. What you have are two sides right on top of their game at the moment. They're full of confidence. England will look back at the Six Nations when they gave Wales a real going over up at Colwyn Bay, but that was a long time ago. Wales are a different side now, and for me, I think it's going to be the battle of the tens, and who has the better game, I think, will edge the scoreline. And with Davis and Slade, lots to play for, and with Slade, there's a dearth of international quality fly halves in England, and it's a great chance for Henry to put his hand up and say, include me, Stuart.
What impressed you most about that dramatic finish in Wales' semi-final against South Africa?
Well, you know, I can talk about the honesty, a real hard work the players put in, but, you know, England will have that today as well. But two things for me in particular was the accuracy of the game and also the rush defence that Wales employed. And it's not just about getting off the line and pushing it, because in front of you there's lots of decisions, and I thought the wingers dealt with that really well, especially Ashley Evans, who had 3 occasions, he had 3 players to take, and he picked the right guy every single time. And if he'd got it wrong, South Africa would have scored. So I know that Jordan Williams is outstanding, etc. But you know, you've got to take those into consideration as well when you're measuring sides and players.
Yeah, bar 20 minutes against South Africa in pool play, Alex. England have been fantastic at this tournament. So impressive against New Zealand in their semi-final. Do you expect them to employ the same game plan today?
Yeah, I think so. I thought they really competed very hard at the breakdown. They took on New Zealand there, and with Hankin, Moriarty and Clifford, the back row were exceptional. But 1 to 15, they all mucked in and put a big effort in there. I think also they've learnt their lessons from earlier in the tournament, and they were very good at playing the corners and playing in the right areas of field. And when they got there, coming away with points.
So Wales didn't have that challenge at the breakdown against South Africa because the South African breakdown work was so poor. But England have got real good specialists here, and it'll be interesting to see how Wales deal at the breakdown in recycling the ball. What Wales do have is a very effective kicking game, and 9 and 10 really run the game very, very well with a good chase. So it's going to be quite interesting.
OK, well, let's remind ourselves just how both England and Wales made sure of a first all-Northern Hemisphere final.
Bessie down the front, but it's what a simple try. What a simple try that was. Looking for the try. Amos Holditch, he did, and it is a try. This Pollard has to go wide. It's Kwaka Smith cutting back inside. Can he get there? Yes, he can. On this side of the field, the kick over the top. Could this be it? The try is there for Ashley Evans. He was practicing these kicks yesterday, and they were going over, and 24 hours later, they're still going over, and Wales are into the final of the Junior World Rugby Championship. The men over, if they can work this space clear for Fully Fiver. Makes the game even more exciting when the likes of Jack Clifford breaks downfield, and one more pass should bring the try. What a fantastic try that was. Pass was cut out here by Anthony Watson. He's held on to it this time, and Watson is going to extend England's lead before the break. One more effort shouldn't do it. The long pass out wide, and this time the English defence has been breached. Cowan Dickey will have a go here. Almost to the try line. He might not get there. Again, it's another effort which will bring in the TMO. You may award the try to put the icing on the cake and seal the victory from wide out. The touchdown flags are in the air once again, and it's congratulations to England. They will go through to the Junior World Rugby Championship final.
Yes, performances of great maturity from both the England and Wales under-20s. We're going to talk Wales first again here, Alex, specifically their fullback, this young kid, Jordan Williams, who's really impressed at this tournament.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with his all-round game, really. You know, it's not just his running ability and the breaks he's made. His kicking here, under pressure, makes a great clearance and finds touch here again, putting it into space and making the right decisions at the right time. And also with that, the high balls. You know, for someone quite small, he really gets up high and does very well. And there you see his offloading, his passing game.
So yeah, look at his footwork here now. It's just fantastic, and Alex enjoys his footwork, but Alex doesn't take it as close to the defender as Jordan Williams does. Something for you to learn, my friend. But look at this. This is great to see. This is as good as you've seen from anybody apart from Shane Williams, who, you know, was a great natural at that type of skill, and you know, he's got something special. And you know, I just hope a lot of young players out there can look at that and learn from him. Yeah,
it's so refreshing, isn't it, that at this level players are still playing on...
It was just too much for Wales, you know, they just kept moving the defence around, and fair play, they got what they deserve.
We spoke at the top of the second half about how Wales were dominating the breakdown on the first 40 minutes. It completely turned around in the second period, and it was England who were pilfering ball.
Yeah, again, it was they were picking their battles, as we said in the first half. They were doing badly. In this second half, I don't know if it was better communication or better understanding and clarity, but they held the ball up here. There's a few turnovers for steals, and it made a big difference because, as you see here, Hankin gets over the ball really well, and it just changed it because then you're on the front foot, 40 yards up the other end, and just kept England constantly on the front foot. And when you're on the front foot and you've got ball carriers like Can Dickey and Hill and off the bench Danny Hobbs, it's fantastic for England.
Would you agree, Lynn, a definite step up in physicality from England in that second half?
Well, yes, of course. Wales dealt with South Africa in the week, and it obviously took a little bit out of them. And but the way they approached the first half, they knocked England back, they knocked them down, they tackled them. But Wales then failed with getting the game line, and recycling the ball wasn't as easy for them. And it just gave England to come onto the front foot and to counter-ruck and basically decide whatever they wanted to do at the breakdown.
England under-20s obviously continuing their celebrations. It wasn't the only game played on finals day in France at the Junior World Championship. Let's check in on the results of all the matches, some of them hugely important for what happens next year. Of course, there's confirmation of England beating Wales in the final 23-15. South Africa won the third place playoff. They beat New Zealand 41-34. That's the Junior All Blacks' worst ever performance at the Junior World Championship. France won the fifth place playoff. That was France's first win of the tournament. And Australia beat Ireland for the seventh place. Samoa got the better of Scotland in the ninth place playoff. And in one of the most important matches of the day, other than the final, the USA have lost to Fiji, and that's the relegation match. That means the USA will drop down to the Junior World Trophy for next year. Italy won the Junior World Trophy, which was played in Chile not long ago, and they will come up to the Junior World Championship for next season. Just confirmation that was France's second win of the time. My thanks to Lynn and to Alex. It's congratulations to England. They are the IRB Junior World Champions. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.